was trying to think of something funny to say, but I'm not funny. So, happy Halloween!
Boo.
Boo! So, can you guess who we are? I'll show you.
I got no idea.
Who's she?
Taylor Swift.
That's that me espresso. Anyway, I Sabrina Carpenter and he
I'm espresso.
espresso maker. So happy spooky season.
Merry Halloween.
Merry Halloween. It's Halloween, which means tomorrow is Christmas. So today we're gonna do Am I the Asshole Halloween edition.
Then tomorrow, Christmas edition.
Because it's Christmas tomorrow. But not Christmas tomorrow. So, let's get started.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. The first one is, am I the asshole for not wanting to help my wife with Halloween costumes? Hear me out. I really didn't feel like doing it.
I think it's fun.
Of course you do. Context. My wife, 29 female, always makes the kids Halloween costumes. We have 3 kids, 5, 7, and 9. She did not have an amazing childhood, and so I think she is constantly trying to make sure our kids do. That sounds very nice. She home makes every birthday cake, DIYs the birthday decorations, makes pajamas for every holiday, and always home makes the Halloween costumes. She also does these themed monthly movie nights where she creates this whole scene. For example, this month was Coraline. She makes custom dolls for each kid, welcome home cake, and the whole food spread. How sweet. This is all great, but the problem is she expects me to help. All the kids are in activities. We both have full-time careers, and I believe she stretches herself thin trying to do all this, and also expects me to. We have the money to just go out and buy stuff, so I don't get why we have to do so much. She always says these are the things the kids will remember. Very true. Anyway, this all came to head as I've been out of town most of the month for work, so she's had to shoulder the full responsibility of the kids. This caused her to be behind on making the costumes, and she's stressed. She was asking me if I'd be able to create one of the costumes for her. She has the supplies and can walk me through. The problem is that I don't feel like it. Told her we can go get cheap costumes, it's not a big deal. Well, she refused and was up all night finishing these costumes. I told her this morning that they looked awesome, and she just rolled her eyes. She was making coffee, and I asked if she'd make me a cup. She replied, go buy one. I like her. She's been distant and cold. I was talking to my coworker, and he called me out, saying my wife was right. My kids will remember the effort my wife put in, and they'll also remember how hard I made it for her. Now I'm feeling off, like maybe I am the asshole, but at the same time, I do help a bit. I was just thinking this one time wouldn't be a big deal since we were both tired. So am I the asshole?
I like how he words it. Is an asshole.
Yeah. Like, just he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't appreciate what she's doing in the slightest. And,
Well, I mean, this feels like a one-time occurrence of him not wanting to do it. And if he's not, like, if there's sewing involved, I get not a lot of people would be too inclined to have their first try be on a kid's costume. That's like the next day.
I guess, but also the whole thing, he's like, we can just go out and buy stuff, so why do we do it?
That part's asshole-y.
Yeah, like, he doesn't want to have his kids get any of it. Like, he doesn't want to deal with any of it. And, he sucks, basically, so. Yeah, I think for sure. I get that he wouldn't want to help, like, with the costumes, but, like, then he should be doing something
with the kids.
Yeah, it says he's been out of town most of the month for work, but, like, I don't know. There's got to be another way for them to work this out, so.
There could have been, like, a compromise where he takes over something while she does the costumes or something like that.
Right, like the other decorations or something. He could have done something, and he didn't want to. So.
I feel like she could also be, like, nitpicky about the costumes, too.
But if she asked for help, I don't think she would be.
But if it's something that he hasn't done before.
Maybe.
And we don't know.
We don't know these people.
Mhm.
Either way, he is.
Also, another thing that she could have done is let the kids get in on the making of the costumes, since they are their costumes.
Yeah,
So it could have just been like a family thing that they could have done.
I agree. I think that would have been cute if she got the kids involved. But also it would have been nice if he just cared more about that. Because it doesn't sound like he cared at all. Anyway, am I the asshole for causing a scene after I, 23 male, lost a costume contest to a dog? 3. I like how he said that the dog was 3.
Mm-hmm.
The kitty! What? You were just up here getting love.
If he lost the contest to the dog just because it was a dog, I'd be pissed. Especially if you put a lot of effort into the costume.
Well, let's see. I am genuinely losing my mind here. So I love Halloween. I love making costumes and put a lot of effort into it. My friend hosted a big Halloween party at her place and said there would be a costume contest for who had the best Halloween costume under $50. Third and second place would win $25, and first place would win $50. So not a huge money prize, but enough to offset the price of the costume, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it was more of the fun in the game. I wanted to win, so I pulled out all the stops and went as Zorro from One Piece,
You don't know, but I know.
and had to buy $40 worth of material. When I got to the party, I saw other costumes, and there were some fierce competitors, but honestly, I think I had the best costume. I thought maybe it was too obscure to people who don't know anything about anime, and that might not go well, but it was a good costume. When the winners were announced, I got second. This bummed me out kinda, but hey, I did well, and again, if I had went with someone more ubiquitous, that's the way to say that. I've never said that word out loud. Maybe people would have gotten it. However, the issue arose when they announced first place. First place was a dog dressed like a pirate in one of those shitty Party City pirate costumes. So, if I had lost to another person, I wouldn't have cared. But I had a few drinks in me, and my inhibitions were lowered, and it was a fucking dog. So I out loud asked the host, "Really? The dog won?" And she said yes, and was gushing about how cute he looked. I said it was a dog and it didn't even have a say in what it was going as. I told her that this didn't exactly seem fair. She told me to lighten up and it was supposed to be fun. I told her it's ridiculous she's about to give the $50 prize to the owner for spending $20 on a cheap Walmart dog costume when me and whoever was in third place actually made our costumes. She got mad that I called her ridiculous, and things kind of escalated into a full-blown argument that required my friend breaking us up. I was then kicked out of the party for embarrassing the host like that, as you should. So I don't think I'm the asshole because, obviously that's not fair. It was a dog costume contest, but having a bunch of people compete and to lose to someone's inbred bulldog is unfair. I think I was justifying it in saying what I said. People there said I should have just taken the $25 and called it a day. Am I the asshole?
Yes, for starting the argument.
Yeah.
But, what if you lost a Taylor Swift trivia night to a dog that the owner wrote down the answers to?
I don't know. I think this is so silly. I get that. I don't know. I kind of see both sides of the.
Also, whose dog was this?
I have no idea.
If it was the host dog? I don't think it says.
It doesn't say, so I don't know.
But if it's the host dog.
That would be funny.
Mm-hmm.
It was her own dog. Because I would do that. Put Bunny in a little costume and be like, who wins first place? Because he was the cutest.
But there would be a lot of upset people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's fair to have a dog be in the contest at all.
Running for top 3 for money prizes.
Right. You could be honorable mention, first prize would go to the dog, but...
If it was the owner dressed up with the dog...
Yeah, that would be cute. If it was Scooby-Doo and...
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cute.
But not the dog itself, I don't think.
Yeah.
But he's still an asshole for causing a whole commotion.
Yeah, the friend had to break them up.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were thrown out of the party. What is she doing?
She's in the box.
So, yes, he sucks, basically. Next. Am I the asshole for not thanking my husband for taking the time to do family Halloween activities? Pretty much as the title sounds, but I
This will
will
figure.
elaborate. My husband and I are in the middle of moving into a fixer. He spends most of his spare time over there working on getting it ready to move in. This leaves me at home most of the time with our 2 young kids, 6 and 2. I also have a full-time job and work from home. I arranged to have a bunch of fun family Halloween activities over the past 2 weeks because we love Halloween at our house. I planned everything as I always do, and all my husband had to do was come. He joined in for many of the activities, but there were still things I did alone with the kids. Today my husband told me he was upset that I wasn't more appreciative of taking the time to come along to these events. I told him I shouldn't have to thank him for spending time and making memories with his family, that he chose to take on this house and do it all himself, and I've always made it clear that family time is important and holidays should not be put off due to this project he has taken on. So am I the jerk for not appreciating him joining in on the festivities?
What's that?
Wow, there are a lot of comments, so I'll just update here. We had a conversation and both expressed our need to more communication and gratitude for the other. Also wanted to add that it was not 2 weeks of solid activities. I meant like the pumpkin patch one weekend and festival the next. Like, he shouldn't be thanked for being a dad. That's like people being like, oh, you're babysitting the kids tonight. Like, no, I'm being a father. Yeah, I don't think she should have to thank him for coming along. It's not like he picked the stuff for them to do. I feel like if he chose the activity and was like, hey, let's all go to the pumpkin patch or whatever, that would be one thing. Then I'd be like, thank you. That's so sweet of you to say and pick it for us to do. But to just come along and do nothing, no.
I feel like if there was plans that he agreed on, then he doesn't have a say in it at all.
And shouldn't be thanked
Yeah.
for coming. I don't know. That's weird. And they're married, so like, and they have kids. So like, how many times have you thanked her also?
Yeah. There could be like a thing like where he works on the weekdays and the weekends he goes to the house and fixes it up. And if he had like deliveries or anything for the house, but
Yeah, I don't know. I think, obviously, she's not in the wrong, but I think he needs to get off his high horse. He sounds like someone who thinks she should be in the kitchen. That's what he sounds like. I don't like him. The next one. Am I the asshole for dressing up as Sabrina Carpenter? I, 19 female, have been told a lot recently that I look like Sabrina Carpenter, so naturally I dressed up as her when I went to a Halloween party last night. I dressed up as one of her tour outfits. I felt great in it and was excited to go to the party. When I showed my best friend, 19 female, the costume before we went out, she looked shocked and said, "You're really wearing that?" I thought she was joking, but then she went on to say how it was too much for a Halloween party and that I shouldn't dress so revealingly, especially since we'd be around a lot of people. She said it made her uncomfortable and implied that I was just trying to get attention. At the party, she took a step further. While we were all hanging out, she turned to my boyfriend and said, "Wow, I can't believe you let her wear that. Don't you think it's a bit much?" I was mortified. My boyfriend looked uncomfortable and I felt embarrassed and self-conscious. I tried to enjoy the party, but she just kept being passive-aggressive.
doesn't seem like a best friend.
No, she sounds like she's very jealous. You probably looked absolutely fantastic in that, and she was mad because she would feel uncomfortable wearing it. And she doesn't feel
Yeah.
good about herself. So the fact that you are so happy and you felt great in it and wanted to show it off, she was pissed about that. Also, you guys are young. But like, why would you be mad at someone for that? I don't know. Like, it's not like it would be one thing if you told her to wear it.
Yeah.
Like, she had to dress up with you and wear the same thing. That I would totally get. I'd be like, I don't feel comfortable wearing that.
Or they both went as Sabrina Carpenter and she was
more revealing than the other
Yeah.
one. I could see that too, but like, you're the only one dressed up as Sabrina Carpenter and you look fantastic. Like, girl, you're good. No, she sucks. Get a new best friend. Next. Am I the asshole for not letting my daughter go to the Halloween party? My husband, 34 male, and I, 34 female, have 6 kids.
Jesus.
Ew, that's a lot of kids.
Oh, you're not going to be happy about the name of this kid.
Our two oldest are our 15-year-old daughter, Autumn, and our 13-year-old son, Thatcher. Who names their child Thatcher?
Rainbow Six Siege player right there.
I don't know what that is, but
That's
that
fine.
sounds like a disease. Thatcher and Autumn are both at the age where they don't go trick-or-treating for Halloween anymore. Both of them have different parties they want to go to. Thatcher and his girlfriend want to go as Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Weird.
My son plays baseball and watches all sports, including the NFL. His girlfriend is into Taylor Swift. She sounds fantastic. Autumn and her boyfriend went to go as Marie and Pierre Curie. Bunch of frickin' nerds.
I don't know. Who
Marie
they are.
Curie? Isn't she a scientist? What a bunch of losers. Yeah, she's a physicist and chemist. Yeah, a bunch of nerds. The issue has been Autumn and her boyfriend saying mean things to Thatcher and his girlfriend about their costume. The biggest issue is that they said his girlfriend shouldn't be Taylor Swift because his girlfriend is black. Well, that came out of nowhere. We are white and live in a very white area. She's one of the few black kids in the district. Thatcher got into a massive argument with Autumn over this. We weren't home when this happened, but Thatcher told us what happened. We spoke to both of them. Thatcher was justifiably very angry and said it doesn't matter, anyone can be Taylor Swift for Halloween. Thatcher tries to learn about his girlfriend's struggles and culture. We talked to Autumn about this, and at first she dismissed it. We pushed her and she wouldn't apologize until we had to threaten to take away her electronics. A few days later, she made a comment about how dumb the costume was, and how they're only going as it because they're famous, and how my son is just following trends. Autumn was talked to again, and she apologized.
That is how Halloween goes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The last straw was yesterday. I had gotten a call from Autumn's science teacher that her and her boyfriend were complaining about Thatcher's costume and had made other kids uncomfortable. Oh my God. I apologized, and she said that Autumn and her boyfriend had said racist things before, and I asked why she didn't tell me. She told me she emailed me. After talking for a bit, we realized the email in the school system was wrong. Gave her my correct email, and she said she'd help me change it in the system.
Okay.
I talked to Autumn, and she said that her and her boyfriend just tell the truth in class. She also admitted that she wasn't sorry for what she said to Thatcher. I told her she wasn't allowed to go to the Halloween party, and she said I was overreacting. Okay. I asked some of my friends for advice, and they said I was being too hard on her. My son, however, is really upset and said that knowing she's getting grounded for her behavior makes him feel more comfortable bringing his girlfriend over. He said he wouldn't want to live with us if we didn't punish her racism. Am I the asshole? Not at all.
Nope.
She sounds awful.
Yep. Sounds like a bratty preteen or teen.
Not only that, like,
And no boundaries.
get with the times.
Mhm.
Like, Gen Z is, like, the least racist out of anybody has ever been.
Mhm.
Like, literally get with the times. None of these other people have her same thoughts, obviously. So, what? Like, did they find her in a dumpster or something? Because she sounds like trash. That was pretty funny.
I wonder if they were method acting. I don't know if the Curies are racist or not.
I don't know, but she sounds terrible. Like, are you serious? It's 2024.
Not the asshole. You can't be going doing that.
No, like she's gonna get shot one of these days, and she's gonna deserve it. Like you don't do that. You don't. First of all, you shouldn't feel that way, and second of all, you shouldn't say it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Not the a-hole.
Nope. That was
I haven't
crazy.
been keeping track of I haven't been looking at
Oh,
it.
I don't. Am I the asshole for ruining thousands of kids' Halloweens and not feeling bad about it? No. Children.
Is it gonna say, if it says like didn't hand out candy, then no.
I live in a large neighborhood, about 90 houses. We are what's considered the rich neighborhood, so our neighborhood has always been a hot spot for trick-or-treaters. We used to get about 700 to 1,000 kids a year.
That's a lot of candy.
Oh my God. I've always loved getting trick-or-treaters because my kids are teens now and they don't trick-or-treat anymore. But in the last 4 years, it's gotten ridiculous. There's thousands of kids and their parents flooding the streets, people with hay in their rigs carrying kids around, trampling yards, littering candy wrappers everywhere, and the amount of small children walking around by themselves is appalling. People from the neighborhood town of 30,000 people were taking their kids to my neighborhood. I was annoyed, but I never really did anything about it until 2 years ago. My daughter tripped and broke her arm. We didn't think it was a break, but wanted to go to the ER anyway to get it checked out. And there were so many people in our neighborhood, we couldn't get out. There were cars everywhere lining the streets, parking in people's yards. It was horrible. We had to wait until everyone left about 1 a.m. to go to the hospital. My daughter had to wait in pain for hours. They probably should have gotten an ambulance.
Well, that also cost a shit ton of money.
That's true.
And they could have just drove there. It was a broken arm. It wasn't serious. And that's... Well, broken arm is on a less serious injury of...
If I had a broken arm...
You're getting driven to the hospital.
I am personally running everyone over that gets in my way if I had a broken arm. You are not getting in between me and going to the hospital.
Yeah, I would have just gotten in my car and just start backing up.
Honking.
Yeah,
no, there's no way. For hours. No, honey. At that point, I was done. I contacted the neighborhood community, and we managed to get some folks, cops mostly, to stand at the gate with a list and only let in certain people. Folks that live here, family members, friends. If you wanted to get in, you had to be close to someone in the neighborhood.
That makes sense.
That sounds perfect. I mean, it sounds like there's a gate, so they should have always closed the gate. It was great. There were only about 300 kids in the neighborhood, and after there was barely any trash. And we're doing it again this year. Perfect. I recently told my sister what I had done. She got really angry. When we were kids, we had to trick-or-treat in other neighborhoods because we lived in a trailer park with no other kids. She told me I was a horrible person for ruining thousands of kids' Halloweens. But honestly, I'm not too broken up about it. It was a hazard. If there was a fire or an emergency, no one would be able to get in to help. When I was a kid, if there were never any cars lining the streets. The residents could get out if they wanted. It was never dangerous. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm in a wrong, but I've always respected my sister's opinions. Info. There was no one in the cars. They were parked in the middle of the road and in yards, so there was no way for me or an ambulance to get through unless every driver in the neighborhood at the same time went to their cars at the same time and drove out. My daughter was 13 and in that awkward phase where she didn't want to bother anyone for help and said it didn't hurt that bad.
It's crazy that all the streets and the yards were basically a parking lot just to trick-or-treat. That's an event. That's a whole ass event that's going on right there.
And it's dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, they showed why it was dangerous.
Even at events, they have a limit to how many people that can go in.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And the neighboring town of 30,000 people could trick-or-treat there.
Yeah.
The only reason why they trick-or-treat here is because it's the rich neighborhood, so they want the good candy. They'd be just fine in their neighborhood.
Yeah. And if it's getting to the point of thousands of people, I'm not buying 1,000 king-size candy bars to hand out.
Exactly. And also, it's like, the trash would piss me off.
Yep, the trash, the dirt, just from getting
everyone
kicked
being
up.
Rude and everything. No.
And any accidents that happen too.
Yeah.
Because of it.
Yeah.
This is a hazard altogether.
It is. So, I feel sorry for you. I trick-or-treated in my little town, and there were 20 houses. And it was fine. Mm-hmm. We were fine. And it doesn't sound like they have any little trailer parks with no other kids around if they're the rich neighborhood, so I think everyone's okay.
Yeah, you just go to a close neighborhood that's by you that does do a bunch of trick-or-treat, the house lights are on.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, no. Those kids are fine. Am I the asshole? This is the last one.
Oh.
For insisting on a wedding on Halloween. I know this seems like an obvious answer, but hear me out because I'm having some serious doubts now. My fiancé and I are trying to get married on Halloween of this year. This was 5 years ago, apparently.
Are you married?
I would hope so. Halloween is our favorite holiday and has been since we met and started dating 8 years ago in high school. For a few years, we talked about getting married and have and have a really elegant Gothic style wedding on Halloween, and we've been really excited to make that a reality finally. Here's where I may be the asshole. My parents were teenagers when I was born, and 10 years later they were both remarried and had half siblings. Now I'm the eldest of 6, with the age range of my siblings being from 4 to 13. At the same time, my aunts and uncles are starting to have kids, so I'm more than a decade of age of all my cousins as well. More than a decade of age, more than them. And there are a lot of them. Obviously, I want them all at the wedding, but as soon as all of them found out the date of the wedding, they all got really upset. I thought that if we made the reception more fun and have a candy bar and dancing and fun, maybe even allow people to change into costumes after the ceremony, we could have a great compromise. However, this hasn't been the case. My aunts, uncles, and my parents want to go trick-or-treating with their kids and put it all in my siblings and cousins' heads that they wouldn't have their fun every year because I'm getting married that day. So now it doesn't even matter that I'm trying to accommodate because I'm taking away the experience of trick-or-treating and dressing up around the neighborhood. My fiance's family is older and is all for the Halloween wedding, so that's not an issue. But now I'm starting to feel bad because I feel like if we insist, our wedding day is going to be filled with disappointed family and no one will have fun because they want to celebrate Halloween their way. But this is a once-in-a-lifetime event with the love of my life, and I want to share it with everyone. Would I be the asshole for insisting on this date? Edit. I want to clarify that I would not be upset if some people decided to not come so they can take their kids for trick-or-treating. Edit 2. I'm definitely deciding on letting the kids dress up for the reception. This has seemed to make some of the family feel better. Edit 3. Some people think I'm going to be one of those people who ruins every holiday after this with anniversaries. This isn't true. I want my own kids one day and have no intention of making Halloween about us every year. We're happy to celebrate anniversaries before or after the day, but it's the symbolism of our wedding day that matters. No.
No, not the asshole. They compromise and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought what she was going to say was that kids weren't allowed, and with her having all those siblings younger than her, I feel like that could be iffy. But she's saying they're allowed. She would love for them to come. Her family is being so dramatic.
Yeah.
First of all, it's 1 year. Your kids are going to be fine
They
for
do like an
1
event.
year.
That's
Yeah,
not
like
on
trunk
Halloween.
or treat. They have all kinds of events going around the week of Halloween. So they're just being really dramatic and rude, honestly. Like you said, a wedding is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. If someone was, if someone came to me and said you need to change your wedding date, I'd be throwing hands. You can't tell me to change my wedding date. Like, no. And like she was saying, like, if they don't come, that's fine, you know? Go ahead, but don't be coming to me complaining about it. Like, just do your own thing if you're not coming. I don't need to hear your mouth. So, no. Have fun. I hope you had your wedding. I hope it was beautiful. I bet it was.
Yeah.
So.
Alternative date may have been like Day of the Dead.
They don't...
But it's not as big as Halloween.
If they're not Mexican.
Yeah. I mean, it's still in that style of day.
No, I'm not alternating anything.
Yeah.
If I want to get
But if they
married on
already have the date
Halloween,
set,
I'm getting
yeah.
married on Halloween. Thank you so much. So, yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with you insisting on having your wedding on Halloween. What? So that was it. I hope you guys had fun watching this video. I enjoyed making it. Did you enjoy it?
Yep.
Do you want to sing
No.
a little outro for them?
You're the one that's Sabrina Carpenter.
Now he's thinking about me every night. Oh, isn't that sweet? I guess so. Say he can't sleep, baby, I know. That's that me espresso.
Don't want to get monetized there, buddy. Demonetized.
On my Instagram, I'm gonna do a little photo shoot, and one of them's gonna be, have you ever tried this one? And it's just me laying on the floor.
You warned it.
Because that's my favorite position.
Dead.
Dead. Sleeping. So, as always, thank you, Nick, for being on my channel. I love when you make an appearance.
Yep.
You're my favorite person.
I'm espresso.
And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Stay spooky.
Boo.
Boo.